What if the universe wasn't testing you? What if the universe was tugging you towards what you've been resisting the most? Because the universe never shouts. The universe whispers. And it usually comes up and shows up in fear and frustration and anger. So, inside this video, I'm going to teach you exactly how you can start to work with the universe instead of working against it. Because when we work against the universe, guess what? We're also working against ourselves and what's in our best interest and alignment and our soul purpose, right? How we live with soul and reverence and worship and yum, right? So I say inside my circles all the time is we tune in and melt into the yum so we can listen to the hum. So I am Renee Main, and I'm so glad you're here watching me and sharing this time with me. I have been leading soul-led women in love and leadership and life from a place of pleasure and power and purpose. And it's really important that I get to share with you and let you know that the reason and all the things that are holding you back, all the reasons that are holding you back, the kids, maybe you're caring for parents, maybe it's your partner, whatever it is, it might be a disability, right? Whatever it is for you, and maybe it's multiple things, maybe you might be ticking all those boxes. The things that are holding you back and make it really hard for you to do what you want to do and live and lead and love in the way that you want and crave, they get to be the reason why you do things differently. Okay, because here is the first thing that I want to share with you is often we wait for these signs, right? We wait for a sign from the universe, and it comes in a space of a 11:11. It might be 11:11 a.m. or p.m. or whatever it is. We look for it in things, in objects, in times, in words, in all of these things, waiting for the universe to go, show me show me I'm on the right track. Universe, show me that this is real, right? And we wait for this external confirmation and affirmation and validation that we're on the right track. But here's the thing is while we can wait for external validation and affirmation and confirmation, and that's nice, right? That feels nice. Feels like, yeah, okay, like the universe has got my back. But here's the thing is what we really want to, I think, mature into and melt into is that every fear, every frustration, every every anger is every time we're angry, it's snippets of information, right? It's little reminders of I say to my clients all the time, anger is good. If you can get in a place where you understand your anger, because anger reminds us about what's important to us, what we care about. And sometimes we forget that. We forget what we care about because we're so busy doing in this world and doing all the things because we're parenting and partnering and caring for our parents and working and doing all the things. And so we forget. We forget what do I care about? What is it? And even if you've been in business for a long time, I know for me, I've been in business for 19 years now, and sometimes I forget. Why do I do what I do? Why do I care about this, right? Why does this matter? And so when we can hold that close to our hearts and we have these beautiful reminders that show up in anger or fear or frustration, it gets to remind us about what we care about, what we fear, what are we afraid of losing, right? Because here's the thing is, because if we try to, and often a lot of these spiritual and personal development practices, they teach us to bypass and hover and try to kind of jump over, and we look for this quick with this quick leap, this quantum leap into this new timeline, this new reality where this does not exist. However, that's not reality. It's not reality, babes, right? And it's certainly not why we're here. What we're here to do is understand ourselves so deeply without shame, without shaming how we feel, without shaming what's showing up for us, right? So we work with our fear to go, what actually am I deeply afraid of here? Because that is another snippet of what am I afraid of? Yes, this matters to me, right? This matters to me. And the same as anger. Anger and passion are the very same things, right? Is my partner will often say to me, why are you so angry about this? And I say, but I'm not angry. I am just passionate about this, right? And so I think I just see it as this beautiful reminder. So this is your invitation to not only look for the rainbows or the feathers or the bird or the words or the time, the clock for certain numbers, is what we want to do is like listen to what our body is showing and presenting us, right? How is our soul speaking through this vessel? Because that is far more important. And guess what? That gives us control. That gives us control of right now, what is happening inside of me? How is my soul showing up inside my body right now? Instead of waiting. Waiting for what? What are we waiting for? Right? So that is your first invitation, your first hack into manifesting, into getting what you want, into letting it be the reason why you do something different. Okay. So that brings me to my second point. My second point I really wanted to share with you is the very things that are holding you back get to be the reason why you do things differently. This is something that I care deeply about because it feels at times that it's so impossible to be a woman, to be a mother. The expectation of woman is ridiculous, right? We have to be brilliant, right? We have to thrive. We have to be a boss. We have to dominate the work industry, dominate our business, have this thriving business, and we have to make bank. And we have to raise fierce kids. We have to be epic parents. We have to have these homes that look a certain way. We have to parent. We have to partner. We have to be a freak in the sheets and be an amazing lover. And don't age. Don't age. Be flawless and be skinny, right? And it's just not life, right? And it's not what matters. And so when we get caught up in this world of what feels really shallow and really remnants of the patriarch and inequality, colonization, but really what I really want to invite you into, what I've been playing with, is use these things. The universe presents us with these things to show us, to guide us, right? So if you've got kids and you don't want to work, you don't want to send them to care, or you want to be there with them, right? Whatever that looks like for you. And so the reality is that we need to structure our worlds in a way where we can still do what we love and serve, right? Because as a soul-led woman, we are born, there is a natural, I'll say desire, there's a natural need. I don't know about you, but for me, it's a need. Um, to show up, right? To serve. And that is a non-negotiable. And when life takes us that away from us, we can get frustrated, right? I know me, I get so frustrated when life takes me out of my service because I love my service so much. It is very frustrating. And so that now, I cannot tell you how many years I allowed this to frustrate me. And it still does sometimes, don't get me wrong. But now I let it remind me, this is why, Renée, you get to do things differently. This is why you have to do things the way that you do to support this world, this life, because we're not just here to be one thing. We are here to be holy and human, right? We're here to serve. We're here to connect with others. We're here to love fiercely. And yes, we're here to raise fierce as children. We're here to do all of those things, but we can't do it in the traditional ecosystem that we've been sold, that we've been born and conditioned into, right? So it needs us to let go of all of these unconscious and somatic beliefs that's happening, that are holding on, that are in our cells that we're completely unaware of. We need to start to shift that somatic reality into a new ecosystem. Into a new ecosystem, because we get to do it differently, right? And so then if you have to care for your parents, right, and then you have to, you can't work on your business as much, and so then that window that was already very small now gets even smaller, then we need to prepare for that, right? So we need to go, okay, still got money coming in. Your business isn't always reliant on you. And then because I don't know about you, is when then you get sideswiped out of your business, and then you kind of get railroaded into something else, and then you go back and sit down and go, right, okay, I'm ready, game on, I've got time to work. And you go, what was I doing? What was I doing? Right. And so this is the reason, if we set up this new ecosystem that is in alignment with your reality and what you actually need, I call it sacred realities. So inside my work of somatic wealth mastery, we talk about soul mapping, right? What is your medicine? What is your message? What is your mastery? Right? What is your modality? And so in that, we piece this together. What's the desire? What's the ache? And so we piece these together. What are the sacred realities? How do I need this to operate? Right? Because so for so long, and this will be a game changer for those of you who have younger kids, right? For so long, when my kids were younger, I thought it's going to get so much easier once they're at school, right? And because, in many ways it did, and in other ways it really didn't. It got harder. And then I was like, okay, right, when they're teenagers, they're more self-sufficient, right? And then teenage years comes, I'm like, oh no, okay, right. And I was like, when they're 18, right? I'm done. I am done. No, you're not. It gets harder, right? So, but what it did, this unrealistic view and belief that I had, stopped me from embracing these universal whispers that have actually been presenting themselves to me for about 15 years, right? And so I want to share that with you. And that is just a little nudge and a hat tip for, if you've got younger kids, don't waste your time like I did. right? And I didn't waste my time, but just with that belief, I was holding off for this one day, it would be easier. And it's just not, right? It's just not. Um, and so maybe when they leave home, maybe it is, right? But then now I'm like, that'll just that another set of problems will present itself then, right? So, um, yeah, just a beautiful, gentle reminder. Don't wait. Don't wait and set your business up now. Set yourself up. Create this ecosystem, this soul map that brings you into absolute alignment, that embraces these sacred realities, and we get to work with the universal whispers and not against them, right? I think that that's so important, because every block, every delay, every breakdown, it's not punishment. It's an invitation to do things differently. And I think that that's really the key here, right? Is it's not punishment. It's here for us, right? As a soul-led woman of privilege, is we get to work with the universe, and let's not squander that. Let's work with these universal whispers, right? So if you want to melt more into liberation, then I'm going to invite you to check out the liberation ritual. And it's a beautiful alchemizing journey where you get to have a somatic experience and alchemize all the residue that has potentially been holding you back. And we get to ignite the fire, because the fire is the foundation of your fortune, and your pleasure is your profit. I am Renee Main, and I will see you next time. Bye, everybody.